Now, speaking of the cost of living crisis and Justin Trudeau thieving money from bank accounts of Canadians, whether that's illegally seizing it through things like the unconstitutional implementation of the Emergencies Act or just taxing the death out of everyone. Just yesterday, the government, Justin Trudeau and Finance Minister Chrystia Freeland, announced that they are cutting the GST, HST exemption across the country on certain goods like groceries, snacks, and kids' clothing. So this new tax break is supposed to apply to prepared foods. As I mentioned, snacks, vegetable trays, pre-made meals and salads, restaurants, candy, chips and granola bars because, health and wellness, beer, wine, cider, and alcoholic beverages because, again, health and wellness, children's clothing, toys, board games, dolls, video games, etc. I think there was also, I don't see it in this one, but car seats, which are such a huge investment. Any parents out there would know, a couple $100 just for one car seat that expires after like 5 to 7 years. Anyway, so the tax break is supposed to be in effect until February 15th next year. And this is the way of the Liberals attempting to make life more affordable for Canadians, especially as we head into the holiday season. David, you were there yesterday when they were making this announcement. What was the atmosphere like when you were there?
Oh, no, I was at the Justin Trudeau fundraiser where Blackface once again did the impossible by totally pissing off both sides of the political spectrum. By that, I mean, Tamara Ugolini, you had the pro-Hamas demonstrators there, the people that don't give a tinker's damn about Canada, and the patriots who were there, who very much want to restore our Dominion to its glory days. That would be the pre-Justin Trudeau years of almost a decade ago. But I was looking through that press release. A couple of things stand out to me. First of all, I love the taxes coming off Christmas trees. Oh, but not the decorations. So Blackface wants you to go out, get an evergreen, but I can't afford the taxes on the decorations. Oh, what do you want from me? Just put a bare tree in there like it's a Charlie Brown Christmas. Secondly, Tamara, I notice some of the items, correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm going to zoom in on one of them, diapers. Isn't that already tax exempt? I know you have a ginormous brood there in the Cobourg area. You might know this better than I do, but wasn't diapers already tax exempt?
I was trying to find some of that, what was and wasn't already exempt from the GST, and I don't believe that diapers were, but things like vegetables, milk, grains, canned food, raw meat, and fish are already exempt under the GST. But, I think that it's up to the discretion of the grocer as well, depending on if they actually want to implement I'll have to pay closer attention to my grocery bills because I hadn't previously realized that certain foods were exempt from GST. And so milk being one of them, and grain, I don't know if that's grain as in it wouldn't be breads because those are made grain, manufactured grains. I think it's just things if you buy them raw, if you're buying raw grain or flour, for instance. I don't think that once it's made into a bread, it was previously exempt, but under this new exemption that will only be in place for 2 months, that those prepared foods are exempt. But we already see, they immediately, Justin Trudeau and Chrystia Freeland took to social media and made this announcement, as if they aren't preparing for the election next year. And Canadians in the comments are so funny. They're like, you can't buy us. You aren't giving Canadians a break. You are pausing legislated theft. That one I loved. But also the president of the CFIB, the Canadian Federation of Independent Business, Dan Kelly, I really liked the tweet that he put out because he's already been contacted by small business owners who are saying that this is actually just going to hinder their holiday business. And so they're saying things like the purchases that people have already made in terms of children's clothes, alcohol products, crafts, games, etc. for Christmas and presents. Now they're seeing people coming and trying to return these items with a plan to buy them after December 15th when the tax break will be implemented. And so, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, no. Sorry. Go ahead, Tamara. You're going.
Well, he questions here, and I don't know if we can pull up the tweet that he posted on X. I shared the link of it in our channel. But he says, will this actually take effect on December 15th? You know, that you see a lot of what the Liberals do is smoke and mirrors. There's not even, this isn't a legislated thing. There's not even a functioning parliament, right? Because parliament's been put on pause for, I guess, about a month now, as the Liberals continue to withhold documents pertaining to the Green Slush Fund. So parliament's not even functioning. This hasn't been legislated. It's not enough lead time to change any point of sale system at the busiest time of year for some of these businesses. The list from government is extremely broad, and there are thousands of products in the gray area, diapers presumably being one of those. The list from the government, will I get CRA, Canada Revenue Agency, penalties and interest if they make mistakes? Businesses aren't clear on this, and that this is too late in the holiday season, because customers will be returning large purchases with the intention of rebuying them after December 14th to save. That's hefty here in Ontario. That's 13% on all of your purchases. That adds up when you're doing a large purchase for Christmas gifts. And then, of course, you have businesses expecting a dead zone of sales after February 15th when it comes back into effect. Plus, one more serious point of contention with all of this is a mere, I guess, 2 months after this GST tax exemption, if it even goes through, is once again re-implemented, the Liberals will be implementing their, second, third hike of the carbon tax. And so we'll just be taxed out the Yahoo once again. It seems like it's a good thing on the surface, but then when you get down into the nitty gritty, you find out that, wait a minute, this actually isn't really doing anyone any justice.
You know, Tamara Ugolini, you've addressed a lot of points there very adroitly. And I know from listening to talk radio just en route here to Rebel News headquarters, many small retailers were calling in and saying this is going to be a nightmare for them with their cash registers, recalibrating what is tax exempt, what isn't tax exempt. It's only for a temporary time. I also, Pierre Poilievre, I thought, hit a communications touchdown when I'm paraphrasing now, but he basically said what Canadians don't need is a temporary removal of the HST on certain select items, but a permanent removal of the carbon tax, which is killing us for fuel, for home heating, oil, and on it goes. The funny thing there, Tamara, is that Mr. Poilievre has to be careful what he wishes for, because I think he's counting on Justin Trudeau not removing the carbon tax, because if he does, that takes away the biggest arrow in Pierre Poilievre's quiver. But I think it's a good bet, because we saw how ridiculous Trudeau was a few days ago when he was saying that saving the planet is even more important than food. And so I think Mr. Poilievre is on firm ice there. But if Trudeau ever listens to him, and you know what? Miracles do happen. Remember a few months ago, the Conservatives were saying there's too much immigration. You should slash the numbers. You racist! And then a couple months later, we're slashing immigration. Wait a minute, what happened to the racism argument? So there's that. And one final point on this. It just makes me chuckle. In the list that you showed, Tamara Ugolini, one was the tax coming off alcoholic drinks, as long as it's not above 7% alcohol. Yeah, because, Blackface doesn't want us to have that good of a time. Blackface doesn't want us to drown our sorrows with the hard stuff like some scotch, or some wine. No, it's got to be the pre-mixed drinks and the ciders and the beers, and those beers that are not the strong beer. And I would argue a lot of Canadians are drinking the strongest stuff they can get their hands on right now.
Yeah, it's not for those Bud Light drinkers.